focus on in the irons the past couple of weeks has been the lead change. Joined again with Darrell Vaughn, and we've been talking about the lead change. Darrell, how important is the lead change to competition?
Well, the lead change can help you in so many ways. One, your horse is going to be a little bit quieter, a little bit more comfortable when they are well balanced. Also, actually in the jumpers, if you're needing to take a little extra time to do a flying change, maybe a simple one, that puts a good quarter of a second onto your time. So if you have to do that several times, you're gonna not be in the ribbons. But if you get that flying change, your horse stays rhythmic, you can see distance is better, and your horse is happier.
And it's not only advantageous in competition, but anything we do with our horses. Okay, we've talked about balance and we've talked about collection. Quickly recap what we've talked about already with the flying lead change.
Well, with the flying lead change, what we're looking for is that the horse can stay straight, keep their rhythm, and then because of that, they have balance. Now they can lift their body off the ground and get the flying change, which again keeps them much happier.
Now, last time we talked about flying lead change, we were just getting started, going through the serpentine with our young riders, and talk about advancing now the flying lead change into what you call the grid, and it's...
Okay. Well, we continue on our normal serpentine loop that we were doing,
right.
But all we do is we add in obstacles on this outside grid here, which is going to be up to 3 to 4 jumps in a row, 10 feet by 10 feet by 10 feet. And this allows the horse to now kind of sit back on their hind end, strengthen their hind end, make them a little bit more flexible, and have to think on their own a little bit. So then as we come back around and we do our flying changes, they're a lot more balanced, because if you just do the serpentine all the time, they'll just get a little bit flat and they'll actually start to give you problems after time.
Well, with the conditioned reflex, I like to call it, when we're starting the horses and such as that, they start to get smart.
Mm-hmm.
These animals are bright.
Yes,
they start trying to figure out a way to maybe do what you want to do, their way a little bit easier. How do we keep from that?
Well, exactly what we did earlier about thinking, knowing ahead of the time where a horse is going to start to get a little smart on us. And normally it's coming through the middle that a horse will start to rush, and when they rush, they get off balance. So if you're going diagonally across or straight across the ring, you really want to be a little bit more aware and a little bit tighter on your horse with your leg and a little bit better feel of the reins.
So it's almost a kind of a deal like the drivers in NASCAR tell you, they're driving a half a lap away, not right where they are. You have to think a little bit ahead of your horse.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Now, let's talk about the fact that we've been talking about the flying lead change, and at this point in what you call the grid, mm-hmm. You're not necessarily asking for the flying. You will let the horse settle in and do a simple lead change.
Absolutely. Again, it's just about muscle memory. So as the horses start to throw the obstacles in, their brain is thinking a little bit faster again. So we want to slow it down, show them what we were doing earlier, and then through that, then we can introduce the flying change through the middle as the students earlier did.
Now, as we were looking a while ago and our youngsters were warming their horses up, and you were talking about the jump, you were progressively building the jump on in, and talk about that and how it helps the lead change.
Yeah, we certainly don't want to throw all the 3 jumps or 4 jumps right at the horse at one time. We want them to feel comfortable and relaxed and understand what we're asking for. So we put the one cross rail up first, or a vertical for some people, but I find cross rails, you can keep them small but then make them big, and the horse has to jump through the center and keep their body straight. So as you're progressively building the jumps, you're going to go ahead and encourage the horse as you go through, because the more jumps, they're going to start to maybe back off a little bit because they're working a little harder.
So more balance, collection, making a supple horse, the lead change, work it like Darrell does, and you'll be a pro. That's in the irons.